Never stop reading Bible. So what does it really mean to follow a path of faith? It's a huge question, right? Well, today we're going to dive into 3 really powerful chapters from the Gospel of Luke that kind of give us a roadmap. We're going to journey through Luke 12 to 14 and uncover some incredible wisdom on living a life of readiness, repentance, and this idea of radical humility. And trust me, this isn't some dusty old history lesson. It's more like a guide for navigating the crazy complexities of our own lives, right here and now.
All right, so let's jump right in. Our exploration starts with chapter 12, and this one really lays the groundwork for everything else. It's all about that crucial first step, preparing our hearts for the journey ahead.
So, imagine this, a world where your faith isn't about what's in your heart, but about the show you put on for everyone else. That's the warning here against hypocrisy. And man, it's such an easy trap to fall into, isn't it? But the text points to a different way, a path of real, authentic faith. One that's rooted not in fearing what other people think, but in a deep, solid trust in God.
And this leads right into this incredible story. And look, it isn't just about some rich guy and his barns. No, it's this powerful warning about the illusion that we can find happiness just by collecting stuff. It's a call for us to look at our own lives and seriously ask, in a world that's constantly screaming at us to get more, what are we really building for? What actually defines our richness? And that idea of being prepared, it flows perfectly into this next parable. But here's the thing. This isn't just about being a good employee punching a clock. It's about being a good steward of everything we've been given, our time, our talents, our resources. It's about using all that to make a real positive impact, whether anyone's watching or not. It's all about active faithfulness, not just sitting around and waiting.
So that parable of the servant, it's a huge reminder that our time is precious, right? We've got to use it wisely. And this feeling of urgency, it's a theme that just keeps popping up. As we roll into chapter 13, the question kind of shifts from how to be ready to why being ready matters so much, right here, right now.
When something terrible happens, it's just human nature to ask why. We're all desperate for answers, for some kind of meaning, some sense of justice when the world feels so chaotic. And that's exactly the question the people in the crowd are wrestling with here. They're just trying to make sense of all the suffering. But the response in the text is, wow, it's a total pivot. It basically says tragedy isn't some kind of scorecard for who's sinned more. No, it's a wake-up call for every single one of us to take a look at our own lives. And then this urgency gets put into action. Think about it. In a culture where the Sabbath law was absolutely sacred, healing a woman who had been suffering for 18 long years, that was a revolutionary act. It was a bold statement that compassion, that human dignity is way more important than sticking to any rule.
So what does this urgent kingdom actually look like? Well, we get this really beautiful 2-part picture. On one hand, it grows outwardly, like a giant tree from a tiny little mustard seed, something everyone can see that offers shelter. But it also works inwardly, kind of like yeast in a batch of dough. It's this quiet, invisible revolution in the heart that completely transforms everything from the inside out. I love that.
Okay, so from that quiet internal transformation of the leaven, we shift gears to something totally different. The loud, joyous, celebratory image of a huge feast. And this is where all the big ideas we've been talking about, being ready, repentance, that sense of urgency, they all come together in this really powerful and very social way. I mean, think about our world today. It's obsessed with status, success, and promoting yourself, right? So this teaching, it's completely radical. It's so countercultural. It's this huge reminder that real greatness, true greatness, isn't about climbing some social ladder or fighting for the best seat at the table. It's found in serving other people with a genuinely humble heart.
And this goes way beyond just throwing a nice dinner party. It's about deliberately tearing down the walls that we all put up between each other. It's a call to practice this radical, unconditional kind of hospitality that expects absolutely nothing back. It's about creating a community where every single person feels truly welcome and valued for who they are.
And this parable, it's like a direct callback, a powerful job, really, at that rich fool we met back in chapter 12. Remember him? He was so wrapped up in his own plans, he couldn't even see the bigger invitation. It's just a striking reminder that the kingdom isn't for the people who think they have it all figured out. It's for the humble, the hungry, for anyone who's willing to just drop their excuses and say yes to the call.
All right, so as we've walked through these 3 chapters, a really challenging picture of discipleship starts to come into focus. Let's be honest, it's not a path for the faint of heart. but it is a path that leads to a life of real, deep purpose. So, let's boil it down. What are the key things we can take away and actually apply to our own lives?
The big takeaway here is that these virtues aren't just a checklist you can tick off. No, they're all woven together. Think about it. Faithfulness without humility, that can just turn into pride. Readiness without repentance, that can make you self-righteous. You can see how they all need each other, how they all support each other. They're like the 4 pillars of a life of faith, and they're all built on a foundation of love for God and for others.
Look, the path of discipleship is not easy. It just isn't. But it is so worth taking. It's a journey that's going to challenge you, it's going to transform you, and in the end, it'll lead you to a life with so much more meaning. So as we wrap up, I encourage you to ask yourself, what is one small step you can take today to live a more ready, repentant, and humble life?
Hey, thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the Gospel of Luke.